Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. That's Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook, and I'm Tyler Merkovich, bringing you Week 10 coverage of the NFL season. And it's the NFC South. The Atlanta Falcons coming off a win at home against Washington, at Carolina, who's coming off a loss at New Orleans. The last time these teams met in Atlanta earlier in the season, Atlanta won pretty convincingly. Steve Smith was frustrated. What are your keys to victory for Matt Ryan? How are they going to keep this, a loss? And they always bounce back. They haven't lost 2 games in a row in so long.
Well, keys to victory for the Falcons, coming in, number one, you want to make the Panthers one-dimensional. The Panthers have a tremendous running back duo with Jonathan Stewart as well as the starter, D'Angelo Williams. It's a phenomenal guy, so you have to shut down the run, period. Shut down the Panthers' run. Make Jake Delhomme back there beat you with his arm. 2, you look at what the Falcons, Michael Turner is starting to get the ball rolling. Michael Turner is starting to look impressive. He's starting to look like the Turner from last year. He's starting to look like Michael Burner Turner from Northern Illinois. So that's a good thing. So you want to be able to run at the Panthers defense. Panthers stopped the run in spurts, but I think the Falcons should be able to run the football effectively this week against Carolina. And 3rd, attack that secondary. You saw the Saints were able to have some success against the Panthers secondary. One thing that's big with the Panthers pass defense is the play of the linebackers. And you look at Thomas Davis, he's out for the year with a torn ACL. So they should have some success throwing the football. Gonzalez should find some openings in that secondary.
And Carolina played great in the first half last week against New Orleans. That defense was rolling. Then they played real conservative. They really got tight. New Orleans opened it up on them. But Carolina really needs to stay consistent. They get a big win in Arizona. Then they come back and they're just about to beat New Orleans until they falter. There's a lot of pressure on John Fox here. What are your keys to victory? D'Angelo Williams, Jonathan Stewart. It's one of the best tandems in the league. Can they get that going against an Atlanta defense who is not as good as they are at home when they're away?
Well, the keys to victory for the Panthers, you look at the last matchup, Jake Delhomme was able to have, he played a pretty decent game against the Falcons in the Georgia Dome. So they're going to have to make more plays in the passing game. Somebody has to step up and help out Steve Smith. Because right now teams are just double-teaming Steve Smith and really locking up the other guy, whether it be Mushi Muhammad or Dwayne Jarrett. So one of those 2 guys is going to have to step up this week to help that passing game out. So receivers have to step up. 2nd, they're going to have to really slow down this game. This is a really good matchup if you like running backs, which I do. You have D'Angelo Williams, Jonathan Stewart. Get both those guys involved in this game early. You can run right at the Falcons. You don't have to do outside, you don't have to do sweeps or nothing like that. You can run right at that defense. They're kind of weak up through. Even though Babineau is playing real well. I like Babineau in the middle, but he's not, he's not holding it down like they wanted it, like they need him to. But he's doing a pretty good job. So they should be able to run. They should be able to run the football right up the middle against the Falcons. And 3rd, they're going to have some success deep against the Falcons. They just have to complete those passes. The secondary is the weakest part of that Falcons defense. They are aggressive. They are physical, but you can get the ball over their head defensively. I like Atlanta on the road to come in and get a road victory against Carolina. I think John Fox is playing too close to the vest, too conservative. That's going to cost these guys. I think the Falcons are trying to win. Falcons are coming in trying to make a statement, trying to keep it close, trying to get that home game in the playoffs. I like the Falcons.
Well, last time these 2 teams matched up, you picked Carolina. Now you're picking Atlanta. I'm going to go with Carolina because reality is that this defense is suspect. Besides Curtis Lofton, John Abraham, a couple others, this defense is really not that good. And their secondary is overachieving right now, meaning I don't know if they could play better and step it up. So Steve Smith's going to have a big day. I like Carolina's defense in this situation. This is going to be a close game. But remember last year, the NFC South, it was all about the home team. And I'm going to go with Carolina, bounce it back against Atlanta here.
Well, one thing you want to remember, this is not the game where that secondary will probably get tested. You got to look at the quarterback play. And would you take Matt Ryan over Jake Delhomme?
Well, of course I wouldn't. Of course I go with Matt Ryan, but I'm still going with Carolina.
And there never was a problem with
some
defense.
Way, it's going to be the Panthers.
The defense was never a problem with Carolina. It's that offense, and I don't think that offense can score enough to win a shootout.
We'll see Sunday. Yet to be determined. For more, visit footballgameplan.com/NFL.